you always want to come to camp and hit the ground running, right? You don't want to use training camp as a way to get into shape.
Because they believe in themselves. They believe in the team. They're able to do that because Dan Campbell has instilled that in them, and it takes two to tango.
This guy is literally practicing with the team and conditioning with the team. They're accountable to the team. They don't want to let the guy next to them down. Speaking of Rotunda Drive, the Detroit Lions did kick off training camp today. First and foremost, as guys reported, Braylon, you always want to come to camp and hit the ground running, right? You don't want to use training camp as a way to get into shape.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost. Dan Campbell said his guys came ready.
Say this because I wanted to make a point of this. I was real proud of our guys. Just when they come back and they weigh in and they test, conditioning test, that pretty much tells you what their commitment was, how serious they were over the summer. And man, our guys were outstanding. I mean, it was outstanding. Everybody made way in, and we had all but one guy who passed the conditioning test, and that's the guy who just started running a week ago, who didn't make it. So that's a credit to our guys. They look good, they're in shape, and they look ready to go.
And Maz, that's what you talk about in terms of when you want to win, like when you're ready to win, when you want to take that next step. That's what we've been talking about, Ryan. These guys have been chomping off at the bit. Tracy Walker talked about it. They came back in late February because they were ready to get back at it. They were ready for the grind. They saw what they could be towards the end of the season last year in December. Then when they played some of their best football, they came in. They didn't want to leave when training camp was over. They reported back on time, in shape, in condition, because they believe in themselves. They believe in the teams. You saw the Aiden Hutchinson workout video, and he's not the only one. There was a ton of guys working out. We watched David Blough's workout videos. We watched Jared Goff off on location. These guys have been talking about workouts, talking about how to get better, talking about that consistently. Maz, that's how you get better as a team. That's how you take that step to now you're competing in the NFC North. That's how you potentially upset some people and sneak over that, what's the win? It's 6. That's how you get to 8. Right. That's how you get to 9. You're here. You're active. You want to be here. You're winning. That's a winning attitude. But guess what? They're able to do that because Dan Campbell has instilled that in them, and it takes two to tango. And guess what? They are doing a hell of a tango dance right now between Dan Campbell and his players.
Hey, what have I always said about Dan Campbell? He just gives you that football feel when you look at him. I look at that guy, and I want to play for that guy. So you as a player, Braylon, you see your coach that is built like a brick, you know what. And he works out with the team on the field, and he's right there with you. He's not kicking you. He's not, demeaning you. What does that mean to the players?
It means a lot to the players because he's there. He's in the battle. Like when you go to war, like and it's not fair to Army or military veterans, but at the same time, they kind of get the reference it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. You want guys in your foxhole. You want guys that you'll take the war with you. You want guys that have your back, have your front, have your 6, have your 9. And that's what the players feel about Dan Campbell. They're like, he's our coach, but he's not coaching at us. He's coaching with us. He's not telling these guys, hey, you guys go do that. Hey, you guys go do that. And I'm going to hide up here in the crow's nest or the bird's nest.
Exactly.
He is in the jungle, in the fight, in the war. I want to go to war with him.
And seriously, Braylon, I mean, today, and we'll show you the video in just one second, him do a down-ups or up-downs, however you want to call it. I mean, this guy is literally practicing with the team and conditioning with the team. Here you go.
How hard is that to do one?
I mean, Braylon, go ahead, Braylon, because we were joking off camera about this.
So I've never had a coach that could do it. I mean, I love Lloyd. Lloyd's my favorite coach of all time. Shout out to Lloyd. I love you, big guy. Lloyd was a little older. Lloyd couldn't do those things. And then when I played with Pete Carroll's also an older guy that he was active, but he couldn't do that stuff. I played with Romeo Cornell.
He ain't doing no donuts.
Hey, man. I wish, man, but I can't do it, man. And then I played with Sexy Rexy when he still was kind of on the heavier side. So to see a guy that's a former player, not that get in there, do down-ups with you. That stuff is fun. Like that's the stuff you go home and tell your wife. or you tell your girlfriend, or you tell your kids, or you call your pops on the phone, you say, damn, man, this guy's out here doing
this crazy MF.
It's like, exactly. That's what I really want to say. Like, your dad, man, this crazy MF-er, man. Like, but you see the smile on my face as I said that.
Right.
That means I'm going home smiling, thinking about my coach and my situation with my team. That means I wake up and I'm like, I can't wait to get back in there to Rotunda with my team and with my coach. So Dan Campbell is doing it the right way, and he's learning. And that's the thing you got to be happy about. He doesn't think he knows it all. He knows he doesn't. But he's hired people that he believes can help him learn more and more and more, and he's open to learning.
You know, we'll talk about this a little bit later on, too, as it relates to Ben Roethlisberger, because he made comments about today's players compared to when he played, you know, and it's over the course of a 20-year career. But back to the conditioning thing, and this is my correlation on that, on what Ben said about today's players and what Dan Campbell said about his players. When you come into camp, look, they're all professional athletes. They're all getting paid. They should all come to camp in shape. We understand that, but that's not the actual reality of it. I think when all these players come to camp, they prove that they're accountable to each other.
Right.
They're accountable to the team. They don't want to let the guy next to them down. They're not going to use training camp as a way to get into shape. They're going to use training camp as a way to hit the ground running, and I think that is so important. And I know if there's Lions haters out there, they can think whatever, oh, this, that, the other thing about something as simple as coming to camp in shape. But I do think it speaks to the family atmosphere, I got my brother's back. When I'm coming to camp in shape, you're there for each other. I think that proves a lot about this team as a whole as they head in day one.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was going to dive into it if we got time before the commercial break, or do you want me to
No,
wait?
keep going.
So, yeah, with that process, and Maz can attest to this, the process has changed. And I wrote it down. I said the maturation, I actually wrote it in cursive, but I said the maturation process of talking about coming back to camp, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, 2010s. They used to use training camp as the point to get in shape for the season. These guys were out here car salesmen. They were smoking cigarettes, and they used that process to get in shape. Slowly but surely, you see people learning how to work out, the process changing. So I'll just expedite and fast forward to now. Now with diets. Now with knowing how to eat, now knowing how to work out, now knowing you can work out 365 days a year, but there's levels to it in terms of the intensity. These guys are doing it together. These guys are learning how to eat together. These guys are working out together. These guys are wanting to be here together. The word I keep using is together. Like, that's what you're seeing, and that's the thing that excited me. When you made that comment and you say, yo, the Detroit Lions, I don't know, man. That's my Ryan imitation.
I don't know, man.
But I think, hold on. When you said 10 games, I said, man, this guy Ryan's lost his ever-loving mind. He's working too much at Fox. You're working too hard. But then you start to see these guys together. You're starting to see the togetherness. Guys working hard together. They're getting after it together. Then that's when I start buying in and say, you know what? I'm not going to say 10, but Ryan may be onto something in terms of them getting more than 6. Maybe it's 8. Maybe it's 7. But they're going to be in every freaking game because they work hard together. Coming in shape says, look, I got your back because I know you got my back. I trust you. When I look at you, like when I see what you're doing, when I know that, you know what, I'm here at the facility and it's 9:35 p.m. and I could have been home 3-4 hours ago, and I walk out. And if I'm Aiden Hutchinson, I walk out, I see Charles Harris walking out the room. I see Jared Goff walking out the room at 10 p.m. I see Jeff Okudah in the weight room on the elliptical, looking at his playbook as he's on the elliptical. When you see things like that, you go home and you're like, I am going to kill for that guy. And then when you have that attitude, you in turn win games.